Easy Cajun pork rice. Doesn't matter whether it's cold, warm outside, or you just want to have a nice bowl of this with your stepsister. I know how you Cajuns do it. Let's get cooking. All right, guys, so let's go over everything that we're gonna need for this recipe. We're gonna need 3 tablespoons of our Claymore Cajun seasoning. Sorry about that lighting. Next thing we are going to need 1.5 pounds boneless pork chops. You can also use boneless pork loin. Right now we actually have pork stew meat. So next thing you're going to be doing is a half of a large onion. We're gonna be doing 1 celery rib. We're gonna have 1 julienne carrot. Don't judge me for the pre-cut carrots. They were just already in the fridge and about to go bad. We need 1 clove of garlic. We're gonna need a half teaspoon to a teaspoon of some Cajun style hot sauce. We have our Fire Chief hot sauce. If you have not tried it, figure out why it is our best seller, and it's not just because it's our only seller. Next thing, we're gonna have a 1.5 cups of long grain white rice, because it's better than brown, no comments. We need a little bit of olive oil for the bottom of our crock pot, and then last thing, we are going to be using 1 green bell pepper, 2 jalapenos, because we like it spicy in this household. So, let's get going. We're gonna start prepping everything out. Carrots are thankfully already cooked. Garlic's already minced for us, so we can start off with the celery. I'm gonna get rid of this nasty stem. I have already washed these. Oh, you do not have to worry about my health. We're just looking for small pieces on this all the way down. You don't want them too thick. You also don't want them too small. We wanna have a little bit of crunch once this is done cooking, but you also don't want to have it falling apart. All right, that is our celery chopped up. Next thing we're going to be doing is our onion. Be prepared to cry, just like the first time you watched Titanic. I'm actually cutting through this 3 different times, and then I will be coming down on this probably about 8 times on this size of an onion. What this is doing is making it to where whenever we turn our blade and chop this way, it'll be finely diced. And just perfect for this rice. No pun intended. Again, I'm not using this whole entire thing just because I do not think it'll need it. And that little guy got away from me earlier, so just hey back. That is our onion. Look how easy that is. And I'm not even crying, see? We're gonna go ahead and knock out our bell peppers. You can just cut a bell pepper around like this right here. Almost like if you're peeling an apple, I guess would be a good way to explain it. And if you can see what's happening is we're just literally unpeeling this thing. Keeping the stem and all of the annoying seeds intact. Flip it back over, skin side up. And then let's start making our cuts. So we are gonna be cutting this all the way down, and then bunching it together, turning it, and then doing our smaller chops. Start on this bunch and then get on the next half of it. Another option that you can do is you can actually leave this out of the whole entire cooking process, and right at the very end, saute it almost like you would fajitas and toss it inside or on top as a topper. Now this isn't right where I want it, so I'm gonna just kind of rough chop this, make it a little bit smaller. We'll call that good. Get the rest of this guy diced up. Do the same thing on here. We'll do it a rough chop once we get done cooking it or cutting it. All right, typically jalapenos aren't in this style of a recipe. Some people like to use them. Most people, from what I've seen, do not. So again, I like things hot, so I'm cutting them directly in the middle. I'm actually leaving the seeds in this one. I think this will make enough where the seeds will kind of balance everything out. We won't have to be crying too terribly much. Then again, it is just a jalapeno. So I am gonna be trying to slice these nice and thin as we work our way down. Nothing crazy. We have our jalapenos chopped up. We're gonna do a very, very hard job of chopping up 1 carrot. I'm gonna break a sweat doing this. All right, we're actually going to season our pork. So try and keep one hand clean, get one hand nice and dirty. Again, we're using our Claymore Cajun seasoning. We're gonna go on pretty liberal with this, just because a lot of it's gonna get absorbed with the vegetables, with the rice later, everything like that. So don't feel like you're gonna overdo your pork or anything by going heavy with this stuff. Plus, it's absolutely amazing. It is lower in salt, so you'll be good to go. All right, after we got a good mixture on this, we're gonna go ahead and bring over our crock pot. So, got a crock pot here. First things first, pork in. All right, next up, we're gonna be taking all of our vegetables and throwing them inside of here. And the nice thing about this recipe, other recipes like it, is it's a one pot. We're literally throwing everything inside of here. We're gonna be letting it cooked for about 4 to 4.5 hours. Once it's done, we're gonna be throwing in our chicken broth and our rice, and that's that. Moving on, next, we're gonna go ahead and pop these guys off since they are covered in pork. And that's one of the reasons why you see us YouTube guys always wear gloves. We are going to be throwing in our Fire Chief hot sauce. This is a brand new bottle because this gets drank like water over here at the house. And this is going to call for a half a teaspoon. We're going to definitely put a lot more than that inside of there. So again, Fire Chief hot sauce, it's a cayenne based hot sauce, mild spice, perfect for everyone inside of the house. Next thing we are going to be throwing in 1 clove of garlic. We already have some minced garlic here. We do a ton of recipes, so it's nice. I'm gonna get a little bit of a heaping one inside of there just because who doesn't love garlic? All right, last thing before we kick on this crock pot and let it go is we're going to drain these fire roasted with garlic diced tomatoes really quick. We're just gonna add this straight to there. Take our knife and get it all nice and evened out. These tomatoes actually look and smell absolutely phenomenal. As you guys can see right there, we got this beautiful mixture. So we have this covered and we're gonna be coming back at the 4-hour mark to give this guy a check and to add our rice and broth. We'll let it go for about another 15 to 20 minutes until that rice is fully cooked. It's looking good, it's looking fluffy, and we'll be ready to eat. We'll see y'all then. All right guys, so we have officially hit 4 hours. We're gonna pop the top. This thing has the whole entire house smelling absolutely amazing. You can see that fire roasted garlic tomato. We're gonna give this a nice little stir. Also, make sure that that pork is just falling apart, which it is. Absolutely perfect. I'm gonna break apart some of these pork chunks. Sorry for any heavy breathing from my German Shepherd in the background. I mean, I do have heavy breathing just over this right here. All right. I have a 1.5 cups of washed rice. Make Uncle Roger proud. And we have 1 cup of chicken broth. Add to it, and then we want to mix in this rice. Make sure it's nice and really incorporated so it can absorb all of the juices. All right guys, we're gonna leave this rice inside of here. We're gonna let it go for about 15, 20 minutes until the rice is fully cooked. Once it's nice and puffy, we'll let it rest and throw it in a bowl and get to eating. All right guys, so this is done. As you can see, that rice absorbed all of those juices inside of there. It smells amazing. Let's get it inside of the bowl. Make sure that we grab everything in there.